Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Learn Smooth English channel, where learning English feels simple, natural, and enjoyable. I'm James.
Hi, James. Hello, everyone. It's really nice to be here again. I always feel excited when we start a new conversation together.
I feel the same, Emma. Talking with you is always fun and relaxing. How are you today?
I'm doing great today. I slept well last night, so I feel fresh and active. What about you? How is your day going so far?
My day is going very well. I feel energetic because I had a healthy breakfast this morning, and of course I drank a big cup of coffee.
Coffee really makes the morning better. I'm also drinking coffee right now. It's in my favorite white mug. I always use this mug when we record.
That sounds nice. Having a favorite cup makes coffee taste even better. I like simple black mugs, but I think white mugs look very clean and peaceful.
Yes, they do. So tell me, James, what did you do this morning before we started recording?
I went outside for a short walk. The weather was cool and pleasant. I saw a few people jogging and some children going to school. It felt peaceful and refreshing.
That sounds like a perfect start to the day. Morning walks can really help clear the mind. Sometimes I like to listen to music when I walk.
That's a good idea. I usually just listen to the sounds around me, birds, wind, and people talking. It feels very natural.
Before we continue our chat, we should say something to our listeners.
Yes, of course. Everyone, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We truly enjoy these conversations with you.
And if you enjoy learning with us, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Learn Smooth English channel. Your support helps us create more helpful content for you.
Also, you can share this conversation with your friends or classmates who are learning English. Practicing together makes learning easier and more fun.
That's absolutely true. Learning a language becomes easier when you hear real conversations again and again.
So, Emma, today we are not focusing on grammar rules or difficult vocabulary, right?
Yes, exactly. Today is just about speaking naturally and comfortably, like two friends talking in everyday life.
I like that. Real conversations help learners understand how English is actually spoken.
And they also help people feel more confident when they speak.
Emma, do you enjoy quiet mornings or do you prefer busy mornings?
I usually prefer slow and quiet mornings. I like to start my day calmly with tea or coffee and a simple plan for the day.
That sounds relaxing. My mornings are sometimes busy, especially when I have many things to do.
Busy mornings can be stressful, but they can also feel productive.
That's true. When I finish many small tasks early in the day, I feel very satisfied.
Me too. Small achievements in the morning can improve the whole day.
Speaking of mornings, do you usually eat breakfast every day?
Yes, I try to. Even if it's something small like fruit or toast, breakfast gives me energy.
Same here. I've learned that skipping breakfast makes me feel tired later.
It's funny how small habits can change our mood and energy.
That's very true. Even something simple like opening a window in the morning can make a difference.
Yes, fresh air always feels good. It makes the room feel alive.
And sunlight helps me feel more awake.
Me too. I think natural light is better than alarm clocks.
That would be nice, waking up only with sunlight every day.
Yes, that sounds peaceful.
So, Emma, tell me, how is your work going these days?
Work has been very busy lately, James. My desk is completely full of notebooks, papers, and sticky notes. Sometimes I can't even find my keyboard.
That sounds stressful. A messy desk can make work harder. Maybe you should organize it this weekend.
I know, I really should. But listen, something funny happened yesterday at work.
Oh, I love funny stories. What happened?
Yesterday, I couldn't find my favorite pen. I use that pen every day. I looked everywhere, under my papers, inside my bag, under the table, and even in the trash bin.
That must have been frustrating. Did you finally find it?
Not at first. I felt a little upset because it was a gift from my friend. Then I went to the kitchen to eat my lunch.
What did you bring for lunch?
I brought a cheese sandwich and some fruit. I was very hungry, so I opened my lunch bag quickly.
And then you found the pen, right?
Yes, my pen was inside the sandwich bag. I have no idea how it got there.
That is hilarious. Maybe your pen wanted to eat lunch too.
Maybe, but my sandwich smelled like ink after that. I didn't enjoy it very much.
I can imagine. Ink-flavored sandwich doesn't sound delicious at all.
My manager saw me staring at my sandwich and asked if something was wrong.
What did she say?
I told her, "Nothing is wrong, I'm just checking my lunch." She looked confused and walked away slowly.
She probably thought you were having a strange day.
Yes, maybe. Sometimes small accidents make the day more interesting.
That's true. Funny mistakes become good stories later.
Exactly. So, James, how are you?
My work is going well, but I also had a small problem this week.
Really? What happened?
I was preparing a presentation, and I spent almost 1 hour looking for an important file on my computer.
That happens to me all the time. Where was the file?
It was on my desktop the whole time. I didn't see it because there were too many icons on the screen.
That's like having a messy digital desk instead of a messy real desk.
Yes, exactly. After that, I deleted many old files and organized everything into folders.
That must have felt satisfying.
It really did. Organization saves time and reduces stress.
Speaking of learning new things, I started a cooking class last week.
That sounds exciting. Are you enjoying it?
Yes, but I made a very funny mistake during the class.
Cooking mistakes are always interesting. Tell me what happened.
We were baking a large chocolate cake. The teacher asked us to add sugar to the mixture.
That sounds simple enough.
There were 2 bowls on the table, both filled with white powder. One had sugar and the other had salt.
Oh no, I think I know what happened.
Yes, I accidentally added 2 cups of salt instead of sugar.
2 cups? That's a lot of salt.
I didn't realize my mistake. The cake looked perfect when it came out of the oven. It smelled amazing, like rich chocolate.
Sometimes food looks perfect but tastes terrible.
Exactly. The teacher took a big bite of the cake. For a moment, she said nothing, and then her face suddenly changed.
Let me guess. The cake was too salty to eat.
Very salty. Everyone in the class started laughing, including me.
At least it became a memorable lesson.
Yes, now I always check ingredients twice before adding them.
Mistakes are actually great teachers.
They really are. I think learning English is similar to cooking. You improve by practicing and making mistakes.
That's a great comparison. The more you practice, the more confident you become.
And confidence makes everything easier, whether it's speaking English or baking a cake.
So next time you bake a cake, you'll be extra careful with the sugar and salt.
Definitely. I might even label the bowls first.
The teacher looked at me and said, "Emma, this cake is very interesting. Is this some kind of sea salt chocolate cake?"
That sounds like a polite way to say the cake tasted terrible.
Exactly. And I said, "No, it's just a chocolate cake with too much salt." Then everyone in the class started laughing.
That must have been a funny moment.
Yes, and now they jokingly call me the Salt Queen in the class.
The Salt Queen. That's a memorable nickname.
I don't mind. It reminds me to be careful when cooking.
Mistakes like that are unforgettable lessons.
That's true. Now I always taste ingredients before adding them to a recipe.
That's actually a smart habit, not just in cooking, but in learning anything new.
Speaking of habits, how is your family doing these days?
They're doing well. My younger brother Sam recently started learning the guitar.
That's wonderful. Learning music can be very enjoyable. Is he improving?
He believes he is improving, but right now he only knows how to play one song.
Only one? Which song?
Happy Birthday. That's the only song he can play from beginning to end.
That's funny.
The problem is he practices it all the time, early morning, afternoon, and even late at night.
That would become annoying after a while.
Yes, especially because it's not anyone's birthday. Not mine, not my parents, not even the dog's birthday.
Did you ask him to learn another song?
I did. I told him, Sam, please learn something new. But he said, practice makes perfect.
Well, he's not wrong.
True, but maybe practicing different songs would also help.
Definitely. Variety makes practice more interesting.
I hope he learns a second song soon. My ears need a break.
I understand that feeling. Repeating the same sound again and again can be tiring.
By the way, how is your family doing?
They're doing well. My sister Julia recently got a new pet.
Really? What kind of pet?
She bought a large parrot with bright green and red feathers.
A parrot sounds exciting. Can it speak?
Yes, and that's the problem. It talks too much and says rude things.
A rude parrot? That sounds interesting.
Yesterday, Julia's boyfriend Mark visited their house. He walked into the living room and greeted the bird kindly.
That sounds normal so far.
The parrot looked straight at him and shouted, "Go away! You look funny!"
Oh no, that must have been awkward.
Mark was shocked. He asked Julia if the bird really just insulted him.
I can imagine Julia felt embarrassed.
She apologized immediately and said she didn't know where the parrot learned those words.
Parrots usually repeat what they hear often.
That's what I said too. Maybe the bird learned it from television or visitors.
Or maybe someone in the house said it once as a joke.
Possibly. Now Mark feels nervous around the parrot.
What does he do when he visits?
He started wearing a cap and glasses so the parrot doesn't recognize him.
That's hilarious.
The bird still watches him carefully, though.
Parrots are very intelligent animals.
Yes, and sometimes too honest.
I think animals can create some of the funniest situations in a family.
Absolutely. They make life more interesting and unpredictable.
Speaking of pets, have you ever wanted to keep a bird or another animal at home?
I've always liked the idea of having a small pet, maybe a cat or a fish. Birds seem fun, but also noisy.
That's true. Some birds can be very loud early in the morning.
I prefer quiet pets, something calm and peaceful.
A fish aquarium can be very relaxing to watch.
Yes, especially after a long day of work or study.
It's interesting how hobbies, pets, and small daily events give us so many stories to talk about.
That's why simple conversations are so helpful for learning English.
Real life gives us the best vocabulary and expressions.
Exactly. When you talk about family, hobbies, mistakes, and funny moments, English feels natural.
No, Emma. If you visit my sister's house, that parrot might tell you your coffee tastes terrible.
In that case, maybe I'll stay far away from that bird. I don't want my cooking or coffee judged by a parrot.
That's probably a good decision.
So tell me about your friends. How is Tom? We haven't talked about him for a long time.
Tom is still the funniest person I know. Last weekend, we went out for dinner together at a very elegant Italian restaurant.
That sounds nice. Did you dress formally?
I wore a clean button-down shirt, but Tom arrived wearing his favorite t-shirt.
Let me guess. Something unusual.
Of course. The shirt had a giant taco printed on it, and the words, "Let's talk about tacos," written across the front.
That's not exactly fancy restaurant clothing.
Not at all, but Tom didn't care. He said the shirt makes people smile.
That's very Tom.
When we sat down, the waiter came to our table. He was very professional and spoke very politely.
I can imagine the situation already.
The waiter asked if we wanted to hear the chef's special dishes for the evening.
And Tom said something unexpected, right?
Yes. Tom pointed at his taco shirt and asked, "Do you have tacos?"
In an Italian restaurant, that's hilarious.
The waiter calmly replied, "No, sir. We serve pasta, pizza, and traditional Italian dishes."
That must have been awkward.
It became even more awkward. Tom said, "Okay, I'll take spaghetti, but can you add taco meat on top?"
Oh no, he didn't.
He did. The waiter closed his eyes for a moment like he was counting to 10.
The waiter was trying to stay calm.
Then he said he would ask the chef.
I'm curious, what did the chef say?
The chef actually came out of the kitchen, looked at Tom's taco shirt, slowly shook his head, and walked back inside.
That says everything without words.
In the end, Tom ate normal spaghetti, but he kept saying taco spaghetti would be a great invention.
Honestly, it sounds strange, but also interesting.
That's Tom, always mixing ideas together.
Friends like that make life more entertaining.
They really do. Every time we meet, something funny happens.
Speaking of friends, you remember my friend Maria, right?
Yes, she started a new job recently.
That's right. She's working at a library now.
A library sounds peaceful and quiet.
Usually it is, but she told me a funny story from yesterday.
I'm listening.
A man walked into the library carrying a large bag of popcorn.
Popcorn? That would be very noisy in a quiet place.
Exactly. The sound of crunching popcorn was echoing across the room.
I can imagine everyone looking at him.
Maria walked over politely and explained that food, especially popcorn, isn't allowed in the library.
How did the man respond?
He looked confused and said he thought he was in a movie theater.
That's unbelievable.
He said there were so many books around that he thought they were stories waiting to be watched like movies.
That's a very creative misunderstanding.
Maria gently guided him to the exit, but he kept eating popcorn while leaving.
People can be surprisingly funny without trying.
That's true. Real life often feels like a comedy.
Small moments like these make everyday life interesting.
And they also give us great stories to share while practicing English.
Yes, storytelling is one of the best ways to learn new vocabulary naturally.
When you talk about real experiences, it's easier to remember words and expressions.
Exactly. That's why simple conversations are so powerful for language learning.
Even funny misunderstandings can become useful learning moments.
And laughter makes learning more comfortable.
It really does. When people feel relaxed, they speak more confidently.
Confidence is one of the most important parts of learning a language.
I agree. Even if you make mistakes, speaking regularly helps you improve.
These kinds of stories really make the day feel shorter and lighter.
They do. I actually feel more relaxed now. Talking with you always improves my mood.
Same here, James. Sharing small moments and funny mistakes reminds us that life is not only about work or study, it's also about enjoying simple conversations.
That's very true. Laughter makes ordinary days more memorable.
And storytelling is one of the best ways to practice speaking English naturally.
Yes, because when we tell stories, we don't think too much about grammar, we just communicate.
Exactly. Let's remember some of the things we talked about today.
Good idea. We started with your messy desk story and the missing pen.
Right. And we learned that pens don't belong inside sandwich bags.
Then we talked about your cooking class and the salty chocolate cake.
I will never forget that mistake. Now I always check ingredients carefully.
After that, we talked about family, especially my brother Sam and his guitar practice.
Yes, the happy birthday concert that never ends.
I'm still hoping he learns a second song soon.
Then there was the story about the rude parrot.
That bird is unforgettable.
And your friend Tom with the taco t-shirt at the Italian restaurant.
He still believes taco spaghetti could be popular someday.
And Maria's library story with the popcorn visitor.
That was one of my favorite stories today.
Talking about these small moments shows how everyday life can be full of humor.
And these simple conversations help English learners understand natural speaking patterns.
That's why on Learn Smooth English, we focus on real conversations instead of complicated lessons.
Because real communication is the goal of language learning.
Exactly. When learners listen to friendly conversations, they start to feel more confident.
Confidence grows step by step, just like learning any new skill.
James, do you think funny stories are easier to remember than serious ones?
Definitely. Humor helps memory. When something makes you laugh, you remember the words more easily.
That's true for me too. I still remember English phrases from funny situations.
Me too. Emotions make learning stronger.
Maybe our listeners also remember vocabulary better when they hear stories.
I think so. For example, today we used words like messy, practice, recipe, library, and restaurant.
And we used many everyday expressions.
That's what makes conversations useful for learners.
Speaking of everyday life, what usually makes you laugh during the week?
Honestly, small, unexpected moments, like someone saying something funny without realizing it.
That happens to me too.
Sometimes even simple misunderstandings can be funny.
Yes, especially when language is involved.
Learning a language creates many humorous situations.
And those moments become great learning experiences.
Exactly. That's why mistakes shouldn't feel scary.
Mistakes are part of learning, just like my salty cake.
Or Sam's endless guitar practice.
Or Tom's taco ideas.
Life gives us plenty of material to talk about.
And talking regularly is the key to improving English.
The more you speak, the more natural it feels.
And the more natural it feels, the more confident you become.
Confidence leads to better communication.
And better communication helps you connect with people.
Well, Emma, I think this is a good place to stop for today.
Yes, James, this was such a fun and relaxing conversation.
We hope our listeners enjoyed these stories as much as we did.
And we hope you learned some new words and expressions just by listening.
Remember, learning English doesn't always need to be serious. Simple conversations can teach you a lot.
That's right. Try to speak English a little every day, even if it's just talking about your day.
Practice with friends, talk to yourself, or even describe what you see around you.
Every small step helps you become more confident.
And don't be afraid of mistakes. They are part of learning.
Thank you for spending time with us today on Learn Smooth English.
If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who is learning English.
We'll be back soon with another simple and fun conversation.
Until then, keep practicing and keep smiling.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you next time.